Hi together. So as you hopefully figured out by the title, this video is about wipe coding games in general. To be more specific, it's about wipe coding in Godot with the help of Antigravity. So how does this come together? Let's start from the beginning. So a while ago I had some nice idea of a simple game. Since I'm interested in AI, I thought it would be a nice project to VIBECODE. So basically just for the prototype. After a bit of researching, I decided to go with Godot for the game engine. Why? First up, it's free, and secondly, the scripting has similarities to Python. And yeah, those are two things I like. Yeah, starting up with the project, I have been using Google AI Studio, so the web interface, using Gemini 2.5, which helped me to integrate the first steps of the project. I had no idea about Godot, and it was pretty good leading me to, okay, how do I create stuff? It did a pretty good job. So I got my prototype, or the first steps of my prototype, running in the end. But of course, it's pretty annoying to work with. So you type in stuff, then you copy paste it in the engine, or have to double check what you have to click, what you have to create. It was painstaking. And then, of course, the code has to work too. And most of the time you have to debug something, so you have errors. And you need to fix the errors first. A plus point of Gemini is the huge context window. So basically I could start from beginning to end to write in the same chat interface. So he remembered all the stuff I did before, which can also lead to stupid errors because he also has the old stuff in the context window. But let's not go into the details. So the long story short, it's working and it's fine. Of course, it's not magical. But yeah, it was a good beginning. So I was thinking about how can I accelerate that a bit. And after researching a few seconds on the internet, I found out that I actually can use Visual Studio Code and use a plugin for Godot and code there. So just using Visual Studio Code would be, of course, a bit lame. So what did I use? I end up with the GitHub Copilot, which also has a free version. So what did I gain? Simply, I didn't have to manage one big chat window, which, by the way, got painstakingly slow after a while when the context was getting bigger and bigger. But I had my code base basically directly there and available and always up to date. I didn't have to copy paste all the stuff anymore. I could just write in my requests and then with a few clicks apply the changes in the code. So it was pretty liberating and was a lot more fun to code that way. But actually, I just found out that's only the beginning. Because I think it's now 4 days ago, Google released once Gemini 3.0 and with it Antigravity. The cool thing is Antigravity is basically a fork of Visual Studio Code. That means I can use all my plugins, I can use my theme, everything I'm used to. But, and that's a big but, a good but, the implementation of really good working AI agents. Basically it's an agentic AI code assistant. If I would do some web development there, I would even have the possibility for the agents to run my code in the browser, do screenshots there, click through the interface and stuff. Sadly, this is not working for Godot, or at least not working yet. I'm pretty sure someone could write a cool plugin or something. But still, okay, what are the cool agentic features? Let's have a look at my current workflow. Actually, I changed my mind. I show you the old workflow to the new workflow, step by step. So what you can see here is Google AI Studio. Basically, this is one of my bigger context windows I've been using for coding the prototype. Actually, I had a much longer session, but it was so painstakingly slow that I had to cancel it and start new, which works kinda if you put the summary in first. How do I work with it? In the last steps, I was going over to use GitHub, so I don't have to copy paste all code in it. If you have URL context in ground with Google search, if you have this on, he can handle GitHub links too, at least single ones, I figured. And I would write in my prompt what I need to change, and he would give me some ideas and then code I can copy. I do have 2 sessions open. Okay, never mind. And then change in the code, which, by the way, of course, is a mess because it's completely wipe coded. But as you can imagine, even if you have 2 monitors, you are swapping back and forth, copying code in, putting in prompts, waiting. So it's a slow process. And as I mentioned before, the next step was using Visual Studio Code. You can see in Visual Studio Code, I have a Godot plugin. Here are the plugins. So I have the GitHub Copilot plugin, and I have the Godot Tools plugin, which is synchronizing the 2 workspaces. So I can change my code here, go in the game, and start it up, if it currently works. More or less. So the workflow in Visual Studio Code is, of course, similar. For beginners, one especially useful thing is if you put a workspace in front, he will take the context of all your files. Otherwise, you would have to either add specific files, and you can add files to the chat, and you see the context window will be extended. But if you do an add and use workspace, he's taking the entire workspace in, especially for the beginning, or if you have general things. And as you can see here, I had some issue with my map. When I started a new day, it was resetted, and I asked, what can I do? And he found the code, where it is. So in robot state, and if I would click to apply here, I wouldn't have to search for the correct line of codes. I can implement it in the browser. I can see the changes, and I can say, yes, keep this change, for example. But the thing, because we are here now, is this Visual Studio Code. No, this is Google Antigravity. As I mentioned before, it's a fork from Visual Studio Code. This means I can also have my Godot plugin here. So as you can see, it's linked. And my source control. But much more important, I have the agentic features. So when I prompted the same stuff here, he was researching it, and then he created this artifact called implementation plan. And here I get a description of what he's trying to do. And the most important and cool stuff is I could add comments here. and I can give general commands and I put it back in the review, or I can proceed and he will implement it. And I can integrate it all with one click. Of course, it's not instant, but I could always already go for the next prompt here. I will. Okay. As you can see, he's checking for much more stuff as Copilot, for example, and it takes longer. So for that small thing I corrected here, it's maybe not even better, but yeah. Now he's returning a walkthrough. He gave me some manual verification steps because somewhere in the beginning I told him, okay, I can debug the game for you, I can start it. Just tell me what I have to do, and actually he's doing that. Yeah. And maybe let's do this. So we accept the changes. We go in the game. Yeah, it's not. We loot something here, release the robot, go to the next day. And now if I debug it, I see the looting of food actually worked. Okay. So now I can scan stuff, release the robot, next day the stuff is scanned. Recharge the robot. Oh, that seems to be broken. This is definitely broken. Okay. Yeah, so I found a new bug. Okay, that's not the point. Let's see how we can handle more agentic features. So I would love to have a lot more cool items in the game, completely implemented with textures and all. And I would assume now, so first thing is he will create the artifact. He will ask for, maybe he's making some, he's posting some ideas what he can create and how he will do that. First he's checking how it's implemented now. So I skipped forward a bit and he's presenting an implementation plan to me, proposing 5 new items. Scanner, armor, battery. We don't need armor. We won't have enemies. Yeah, of course you should read that and yeah, think about it and then implement it. Or you blindly click and see what happens. No, serious note here. It's really useful, especially all the artifacts useful if you use them, obviously. So see what he is doing, see if it makes sense. I know vibe coding should be quick and action, but if in the end you are not doing what you want to implement and see in your game, what's the point? And also, of course, he's coding all this stuff. Of course, he's not having the best architecture then. He's doing it in a chaotic way. But you can, you can force him to do a good architecture. You can force yourself to understand the code, every code, if you're interested in coding. Or you can try and rush through and get the prototype you want just to see it running. But still then, I think the artifacts, seeing what he's doing, you should check it. Because as you can see, all the stuff takes time, a lot of time, maybe because it's overloaded now, because everyone is using Antigravity now. And yeah, if you don't check it the first place, you have to do it again, and then you take even more time. So do it the proper way, use the artifacts. Don't do it like I do it right now. Okay, wow. those are actually even not really fitting to my game. Of course not, because it's a prototype and it's ugly as, yeah. But as you can see, he's generating images, so I'm really interested in if he can implement the items. Yeah, I think I skip forward again. Of course, it would be also possible to create the images separately, or to be more precise what prompts he should use. If you create them separately, you can just import them and point out that you have imported new items with those names, and he should integrate, or yeah, he should do the software integration fitting to your images. Because right now it really takes a long time to generate those Image Banana Pro, so that's also new, by the way, graphics. So maybe not the best idea if you want to go quick with a prototype. Okay. So yeah, maybe that's an interesting thing too. So to create the new files, he's doing that via terminal, and to be able to do so, I need to accept those. Now in the end, he's giving me a walkthrough through the new items. Wow, they are really high res. This seems to be have some transparency. Cool looking items, not exactly pixel art, but wow, shiny. I accept all of those. And what I would expect now is that the game is crashing for some reason. No, it's not. So how do I get those new items? I don't know. I really don't know. Let's ask. Maybe he can add them for testing at the start. I mean, in the end, I think you get the idea. So if you have some wild ideas of some game prototypes, I can only recommend to try that. So why? Simply, it's free, it's powerful, it's fun, and maybe get a good video you can watch in between, because it really takes a long time right now. But despite that, oh, that was quicker. Debug feature, add a debug, add items, inventory and blueprints. Check your inventory, equip screen. I think the equip screen is broken. Last time I checked, he removed my items and it wasn't working. Yeah, guys, I will have some more time, some more fun here. Inventory to pick. It's empty. And fix my bugs, and maybe you have a look at Antigravity too. In that case, if you have questions, wishes, complaints, put it in the comment section down. Okay. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.